Welcome to the second podcast of Los Doyers Talk. We're here with Senor Tortas, Manash, and the legend. We're gonna talk about some trade proposals today in the bullpen. So what's been going on?
Senor Tortas, you want to start this off?
That was a great opening, and you just
I'll just edit it out. Okay, so yeah.
Sweet.
Wait, are you even recording right now?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of arms in the market. And yeah. I'm just kidding. Alright, for real.
Okay,
Yeah,
but first of all, you mentioned the bullpen, but I think for the most part, the bullpen's pretty good. I mean, they did great in the season, especially in the postseason through the division series and championship. They were just rock solid. I mean, the World Series, yes, they did have a little, some struggles, some rough spots, but that was mainly due, I think it was mainly due to fatigue and just being overworked. Because a lot of the starting pitchers in the World Series did come out early in the games, like Rich Hill coming out early in Game 2, which was, I don't think, a very smart decision on Roberts' part, Dave Roberts. And then you had Yu Darvish coming out early in Game 3 in the second inning, and then Kershaw in Game 5, which really forced the bullpen to, really work a lot throughout the whole series. And I think it was that caused them, to be fatigued. And just the overworking of the bullpen that really caused them to struggle in the World Series. But otherwise, this bullpen throughout the year has shown that they're really solid. And yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. So in Dodgers news today, we got Ohtani. He's finally opened it.
Well, yeah, Ohtani is now eligible to come to the major leagues.
I think so we're set to be favorites, and I see why. I don't think we'll get him because we don't have enough money internationally. Like there's a set limit for each team, and we're one of the teams with the fewest money allowed to give to players internationally. So
Well, see, wouldn't that
Hopes
conflict?
up.
Like,
Not
I was
so much.
thinking, there's also rumors, obviously Stanton. Like, wouldn't that
Yeah,
screw up the budget a lot?
no, it's different. For baseball, for when you want to sign an international free agent, each team gets allotted a specific amount of money. And Dodgers right now, well, I have no idea what they are right now. I'm too lazy to research it, but they are one of the last teams. The most that money that a team can give to a player is Texas Rangers. Their max is $3 million.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot, but Dodgers are somewhere in the low 100,000s.
Okay.
So you're gonna obviously
Yeah.
someone's gonna choose $1 million over 100,000.
Yeah.
So Ohtani, it could happen, but if he really is a money player, then yeah, not so much.
well,
But Stanton, the payroll that is different. I mentioned last podcast. I don't think the Dodgers would want to dramatically change the payroll.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Dramatically want to raise it because of I think they still do need that one one male infielder from the draft.
Yeah.
And they definitely do like to keep the draft spots. They don't want to be picking 60 next year. But for Stanton, it's a different case because he is an impact player, and if he keeps this pace, he'll definitely be in the Hall of Fame one day. He's the most fierce slugger in all of baseball because he's been doing it for so long.
impact player. But also keep in mind how much he would boost our offense, which is already probably one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best. But with his, let's say, probably 50, maybe even close to 60 home runs, he could create a duo that, along with Bellinger, that can total up to 100 home runs in the season.
Yeah, but remember, half of those games that he's going to play is going to be at Dodger Stadium. And he's
True,
crushed some balls at Dodger Stadium, but it is still
yeah.
a pitcher's park.
Okay, so instead of 59 home runs, he'll hit 50, or maybe in the upper 40s. Still a lot. And Cody Bellinger, remember, he hit 39 home runs this season. So, if he could hit around 40, which
Honestly,
he's shown to do, and Stanton maybe 50, or possibly a little more. It could total up to 100 home runs, which will just result in so many runs being scored, RBIs. This offense could be one of the most dangerous offenses that we've seen from any team in years.
Well, on paper, it seems great having Giancarlo Stanton on any team.
Yeah.
But in reality, it wouldn't be such a smart move for the Dodgers because, like I said, it would raise the budget, obviously. But it also, they'd have to eat up a lot of, if not all of his contract, but they'd have to give up a ton of prospects. Their top prospects, it's not going to be just one. They're going to have to give up multiples, plus big league ready players such as Peterson or Puig. And then also, it's just adding another guy who provides a lot of swing and miss. And like you said, Dodgers offense is already pretty good. But their struggles last year, and we saw it clearly in the World Series, was they couldn't get that big hit across. They couldn't do situational hitting. And that translates to contact. And what Stanton has is just a guy who strikes out a lot also. But he does give you that home run, but he does strike out a lot. And we need guys, I think, who
as far as contact,
do contact.
He has been improving. Because he has been improving as far as contact, too. Like, he's hit for a higher average this year. But the thing with Stanton that's so great is when he does make contact more often, he also does hit more home runs because of just the sheer raw power that he has.
That's what they said about Peterson.
And that's a different story. But Stanton... But Peterson has been just consistently...
I think, honestly, Peterson will have a 40 home run year next year.
Oh, yeah, no,
I'm calling it. I think
based
he
on
will
his
do that.
performance in the World Series, I think he'll have a better year. But the thing with Stanton is, like, Peterson has had, like, consistently bad contact ever since he came to the Dodgers. Well, he was okay at first when he started out.
Then they figured him out.
Yeah. But Stanton, the thing with him is he's more of a longer time player. And now... He's even changed his stance and swing slightly, and
It's a beautiful stance, honestly. Yeah. It's a very beautiful swing.
He's also been making more contact of late due to that, and I think that could really lead to him just being a better all-around hitter as far as contact and power, like I said earlier. Which, when he makes contact, because of how strong he is, he'll just hit more home runs too.
Okay, there are a couple more things that I have to rebuke Stanton coming to the Dodgers. One of them is he has an opt-out clause in 2020. So a lot of players, they opt out because they want more money. I mean, he already has a ton of money, but whatever. So if we do all that, we eat up the contract, and then we trade all his top prospects for Stanton. Then he opts out at 3 years. It's we gave up very players have the great potential to make an impact in the major leagues for Stanton, for a guy we only have for 3 years. And then also it just adds what is it like, what's the contract? It's around $30 million a year, right? About
Stanton.
Well, anyway, it's gonna add up. I think the minimum is $20 million. It's gonna add up another $20 to $30 million to the payroll. And Kershaw's going to opt out next season. I definitely believe he's going to opt out. And that's just, more money that could be going towards Kershaw.
There's also, been speculation I've heard that Baumgartner, the Dodgers, have you heard about that?
I have not.
What?
We're not getting
Baumgartner, the Dodgers, but we don't...
But there's been speculation.
There's going to be a lot of pitchers next year. So I think Baumgartner's...
That seems more shady, though. I don't know.
Bumgarner's 2018 or 2019, but I know Sale is going to be a free agent next year.
Chris Sale.
That
would be interesting, but again, the Red Sox are going to ask for a lot, and I know the legend here wouldn't want that.
No, he's going to be a free agent next year. Like I'm saying, buying, yeah. But I mean, so there's Kershaw. I'd rather have Kershaw.
No, well, it would be. I mean, that would be awesome.
I mean, if we could have both,
Kershaw and Sale, but that's just too far fetched. And
it's a lot of money, yeah. So I was mentioning contact. Another thing I want to say is, so we have a hitting coach, Turner Ward, but Dodgers assistant hitting coach, I forgot his name, but he got fired or he left, something like that. And so many thought that Dodgers hitting coach in the minor league, Sean Wooten, he's a guy who really helped Peterson and Bellinger with their swing in the minors when they were struggling. And Peterson definitely did give him a lot of credit this year for that. And I don't know, for some reason, some unexplained reason, the Dodgers fired him.
Hmm.
So many were thinking he was going to be the next assistant hitting coach, and he was definitely a big contact guy. And but yeah, they fired him. But another guy who I think the Dodgers should look at is he was the Cubs' former hitting coach, John Malley. And why I say this is because he was the guy who really when the Cubs first made it to the playoffs, or not first, but in this new regime, they made it to playoffs in 2015. They were striking out a lot, like the Dodgers, especially in a lot of spots when you needed to score runs. And then what happens next year? John Malley, he really emphasizes that situational hitting. Look what happened. Cubs became decently clutch, and they won the World Series. So I think a guy like him could help the Dodgers, and at least in that assistant hitting coach role. So now I want to move on to the bullpen pieces. Like you said, we do have some solid pieces. We have Jansen. Cingrani was very good against lefties last year.
Cingrani, Brandon Morrow, obviously the big one.
But Morrow's a free agent.
Not this year though.
He is. Morrow's a free agent.
Oh, okay. Well, we could sign him
We
back.
could re-sign him, but I mean, you'd
should.
think if Dodgers were going to re-sign a reliever like him, the guy they would have done it by now.
Well, it's still a little early. I mean, I would just say
December.
at least let's just wait. We'll just wait and see what happens during the winter meetings.
I want him back.
That's when I think that's when the Dodgers will do a lot of these moves that everyone is thinking about, such as re-signing Morrow or maybe even Watson, and then maybe going after Stanton, possibly if they want to, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I mean,
but yeah, if it were going to happen, it'd be there during the winter meetings.
Yeah,
But yeah, so more bullpen pieces. There's a lot of bullpen pieces in the free agent market. The Dodgers have, there's a lefty guy named Mike Minor. He was a former Brave. He spent the year with the Royals. He was really good out of the pen. There's some speculation Dodgers are going to go for him.
that would be interesting.
It would. There's also a guy named Kirby Yates. Now, I didn't really know about this name until a few months ago.
Where is he from?
He pitched with the Angels at some point. I think last year he was with the Padres, and he was really good. And
okay.
he had a very high strikeout per 9 ratio. And so did this guy, Anthony Swarzak. He pitched with the Brewers. That's the guy they got from the White Sox at trade deadline. He was fantastic. It was like over 100 strikeouts in 70-something innings. And he's a free agent. I think if Dodgers don't go for Morrow, they could definitely go for a guy like Swarzak. Or, I mean, they could sign him and Morrow. Swarzak and Morrow. I think that would be really dynamic in the pen.
Based on Morrow's performance just this year, and even in the postseason especially, I think he would be the smartest choice because he's just been seemingly untouchable overall, and I think would be a perfect setup man.
Oh yeah, Jansen. Definitely. We need Morrow back. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying we could add that Swarzak guy. These high strikeout to base on ball ratios.
Him rather than Josh Fields.
Josh Fields are biased. And here's another thing. So we have a few lefty options. Liberatore, but he's been hurt a lot. Dayton's gone actually.
Oh yeah.
I think he went to the Braves.
Plus, as far as lefties though, I really throughout the season and the postseason as well, I've really liked the combo of Cingrani and Watson. I feel like they always get out there, they always do the job and get whoever they need to get out, and yeah, I mean that's all there is to it.
Watson was very solid, and it would definitely be very nice to have him back. But I think Dodgers could go for someone else, Zach Britton. And we hear all these things about Stanton trading for Stanton or signing these big free agent guys, but I think a more realistic thing definitely would work out would be signing or trading for Zach Britton. I don't think the Orioles would ask for too much. I think they'd ask for like a middle infielder because they don't really have a shortstop, third baseman. Oh, I mean they have a third baseman.
Maybe not, but also consider Britton may not consider the Dodgers an option because maybe wherever he goes or wherever he wants to go, he would want to be in only the closer role, and he wouldn't want to be anything else.
But there was speculation last season that we were going to get him at the trade deadline, also with the Astros, and at those 2 times it wouldn't have been as a closer because the Astros had closers already. So I mean, I'm just saying it could be a very, very good weapon.
Possibility.
8th, 9th inning weapons. Britton and And the
As
thing
well
with
as
Britton, he
Morrow.
wouldn't just be a lefty one-out guy. He would definitely be, because he was the closer. He would definitely be available for maybe multiple innings. Definitely getting different batters out. Doesn't matter, lefty or righty, whatever. And he's got experience. He's got posting experience, and he's just a real workhorse. So I think we could definitely we could trade for him. Here's another one, another trade proposal. Marcus Stroman of the Toronto Blue Jays. Because I think, okay, so definitely our biggest priority right now is to re-sign Brandon Morrow. But if we want to say we need to fill a big hole, that's that number 2 spot. And so we could re-sign Darvish, or we could sign Arrieta, or we could go for cheap and alternatives like Lance Lynn or Alex Cobb. And both of those guys have their vices and their successes, but maybe we could trade for a guy like Marcus Stroman. He has a very team-friendly contract through 2021, I believe. He's young. He reminds me of Pedro Martinez, because they were both so short, and they're both fiery, electric guys who perform in the postseason.
Oh yeah.
And I think,
especially at WBC.
oh yeah, remember we were
great.
there. That was awesome. Man.
Just a stellar start by him, which I was not expecting. But
Really?
and against a good team too, like Puerto Rico, with a stacked lineup.
Exactly. And definitely, and he's done all this. He's had all this success as Marcus Stroman with pitching in the American League East, and that's a pitcher's hell. Imagine if he moves to the NL, especially the NL West. I mean, the numbers are going to be just outstanding. And he's pretty much a ground ball pitcher. And the Dodgers last season had one of the greatest infield defenses, in a long time. And their outfield not so much, if you go by advanced metrics. But really, definitely, the infield was strong. Stroman is a strong ground ball pitcher. I think that would definitely work out. And you'd ask, so who would the Blue Jays need in a trade like that? Because a young guy like him, who's in the race of their staff, is going to cost something. Obviously, I don't think it's going to cost as much as Stanton.
Okay, well.
So, what do you think? Because from what I saw, the Dodgers, or not the Dodgers, the Blue Jays do have some holes in their, in their system. So they don't have a Jose Bautista is gone for them. So they don't have that slugger, what's it called? Slugger outfield corner guy.
Well, actually, now that you bring that up, I think the Blue Jays they could probably see Jock Peterson's performance, and they might want to take a chance on Peterson.
They might want to ask for him. But here's another guy I was thinking of, Andrew Toles.
Maybe.
He's I think that guy has a chance to be a potential all-star if he stays healthy. He's got quick bat speed. He really has some surprise power. And he has regular speed. The speed is amazing. And we saw him. He played solid defense for the Dodgers. And the Blue Jays, like you mentioned, they don't have a lefty outfielder. So I mean, I wouldn't want to give up on Peterson just yet. But definitely, maybe Andrew Toles, and that wouldn't do much to the team chemistry because Andrew Toles wasn't with them for a long time last season. They would also, I think, would want a top prospect. I don't think we should give up definitely shouldn't give up Walker Buehler. Yadier Alvarez, it might be a little more plausible, but I don't think so either. Verdugo's another guy they could ask for. If not Toles, Verdugo would be one of those two. But I think definitely we could give him one of those B-tier pitchers. We have a lot of them in the minors. Trevor Oakes, Mitchell White, Wilmer Fano. We could finally end up trading Brock Stewart or Ross Stripling. Let's see, who else? We could also add a bullpen piece like Fields, Baez, or Avila. I don't know if they'd go for it. And maybe we could even add just another bat like Trace Thompson or Rob Seguin or DJ Peters, who's way down in Class A. I don't know. He has some power. I'd like to hold on to him. And you know what? Let's make it even sweeter. We throw in Yasmani Grandal if the Blue Jays decide to give us Russell Martin back. The last part's not going to happen. But
Russell Martin, huh? Well,
I think we need a number 2 ace, and Stroman definitely provides it.
Oh yeah. Well, as far as catcher, I don't know. I think Austin Barnes has shown that he'll do a good job at filling that.
And Russell Martin could be a good backup. welcome.
Or he could be
back.
a starter, and Barnes could be.
He could be a starter, but Martin is like 35 now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah.
I'm just offering some pieces because
Trade, yeah.
if there were a guy I really want to trade for, it'd be Marcus Stroman.
But I think I haven't mentioned this, but I think I should bring it up now. Back to Stanton. You were saying Stanton may not be a smart move because of what we'd have to give up,
And
possibly.
the contract.
But it seems like the Marlins are really intent upon just giving up Stanton so they could rebuild right away.
They're intent, on giving up. Excuse me, a lot of players.
Yeah, so it seems like if they don't, if they're depending on how strong their intent is to just get rid of Stanton, they don't have a lot of leverage in the trade, or they may not ask for a lot. So, meaning the Dodgers could get Stanton for not giving up a lot. So maybe like one prospect or.
Oh no, they're gonna ask for a lot. That's why That's why you hear teams like the Red Sox, the Cardinals, and the Giants. They're definitely in on Stanton. But the reason there hasn't been a deal, and there's not likely to be a deal, except maybe St. Louis, it's because of the real top prospects that they're going to have to give up. And Miami's not going to back down on getting these top prospects, getting multiple top prospects from these teams.
Well, but if anything, I think with St. Louis, because remember, Stanton has a no-trade clause. Mm-hmm. And from what I've heard and read, Stanton, he grew up in L.A., he said the most important things to him that'll probably determine which team he'll go with.
Winning?
Yeah, winning, which we've obviously heard before. He's always been complaining about his situation on the Marlins. Yeah. Which he has. And then also he wants to be on the West Coast, from what I've heard. Mm-hmm. So that would mean either the Dodgers or the Giants. Now, I've heard that rumors, I don't know if it was their GM or someone else, but on Twitter, said that Stanton actually...
Minaj has a Twitter. How about that?
No, I don't have a Twitter. It was just... I was reading... I found it in articles, Google articles, basically, that Stanton actually prefers to be on the Dodgers and that they would be his number one choice.
Okay, so let's say we go for Stanton. Who would we give up?
Oh. Well...
Do what I did with Stroman.
Well, what do the Marlins need, then?
Let's see. They have a first baseman in Boer, catcher Realmuto. Second baseman, DeGorn, but I heard that's the guy they do want to shop to. They don't have a shortstop. Third base, they don't have a third base. There's this prospect they have, Brian Johnson, maybe. Well, they have Osuna in left, Yelich in center, and then Stanton in right.
But they'll need someone to replace Stanton, right?
So everyone's saying Peterson or Puig, but maybe Alex Verdugo as a top prospect. He's almost major league ready, but honestly, if we're going to trade for Stanton, we're going to have to trade between Peterson, Puig, or Verdugo. And I think if anyone goes, it would be Verdugo. Because...
what about that guy, Will Smith?
No, we need a catcher.
Well...
We're going to inherit it.
Yeah.
When Ronaldo leaves, he's going to step up, him or the other guy. There's another guy way down in the minors, Gilbert Ruiz. But yeah, I don't think we'd give up a catcher. But Verdugo, I think we give him up because he's not that power guy like Puig or Peterson. He's more line drive. But I don't know. I'm just throwing spitball in here. But who else? Because it's not going to be just Verdugo or whoever of his three outfielders.
Buehler. Even though we shouldn't, but well, I don't know.
And it's gonna end. Dodgers aren't gonna give up Julio or Walker Buehler.
Oh,
They're definitely not giving up those two.
Well, the only leverage that the Dodgers have in a possible Stanton trade would be that, they are Stanton's number one choice.
One doesn't get.
So I've heard.
Depends. Depends on how bad he really wants to be with the Dodgers. So.
But it's not
like
about
I said,
Stanton.
he cares about.
It's not what he wants.
It's not really.
One doesn't get.
He grew up in LA. It's his hometown.
It'd be nice.
He wants to be on the West Coast, and also, but he loves winning. And just right away, the Dodgers win the division every year. They have some good playoff runs every now and then.
just a lot of red tape in the way, and I don't know. We'll have to see over the winter meetings.
The budget is the problem. Yes, the winter meetings. If anything will happen, it'll probably happen then. And another reason to go after Stanton, just so the Giants won't get him. Because, I mean, they're a big division rival. And if we want to win the division, I mean, if the Giants do get Stanton, he would probably boost their offense a lot. And it would, because of him, the Giants will be an even bigger threat than they already are now.
They're not a threat.
In the division.
Well, this year they were.
Well, this year, yeah.
Well, they have Bumgarner and Posey, Bell,
because
Crawford,
remember,
and that's all.
Bumgarner and Cueto were injured a lot this year.
Oh, Cueto was bad this year, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he was
but
hurt a lot. I think he was just bad.
I think he was hurt part of the time. But if those two return back to their normal form, and the Giants do get Stanton in the lineup, they could be a potentially dangerous team in the division.
And they do have some Marja. That's a guy who struggled last year, but I mean he had really
he
good.
He has potential to be good too.
He had really good strikeout numbers and good innings.
Yeah, with their good rotation and an offense boosted by Posey and Stanton, they could present a major problem for us in the division.
I think they would be more 500 team, but I mean they also have a horrible bullpen besides Melanson and horrible defense.
True, but I don't think we should risk it happening, and we should just go after Stanton to prevent the Giants from getting him. And in doing that, we'll have a great hitter that'll boost our lineup.
Or hell, maybe Stanton stays put in Miami. And all these trade rumors were false.
I doubt that, but
okay. So one final note I do want to hit upon is basic fundamental in baseball that we're taught from, or not taught, we just do since our early days as infants in Little League.
Yeah.
Infants.
We freaking run. The Dodgers last year didn't really have speed. At least they didn't really use it. And you have these guys. Well, Taylor, he almost stole 20 bases, and Puig got caught a lot, I think.
Bellinger, he's fast.
Bellinger had 10 stolen bases. That was surprising speed. But, I mean, we have a guy like Corey Seager, who's really athletic, and he can't run for nothing. Peterson stole 30 bases in the minors.
Well, it seems like every time Seager does run, he gets injured or something. I don't know. He gets hurt from everything. And
Grandal and Turner definitely can't run.
Well, of course not. I mean...
So I think one thing that could help us, it would be a little luxury piece, but it'd be very, very cheap, would be a speed guy. No! That's gonna cost some prospects. Well, no, like guys in the free agent market like Gerard Dyson or Ben Revere, they're really fast guys. Or also, I mean, they could be to us what Juan Pierre was with us, or was for us back in 08, 09. That was a good player. That was a good, solid player. Or we could also go for John Jay. You know, he doesn't have their blinding speed, but he does have some speed. He plays good defense. He's a contact guy, and he has postseason experience. So just some speed guys he could get. Or maybe they go for the big one, Lorenzo Cain.
Ooh, that's okay.
Contact hitter.
That's gonna
speed, great defense. He has a little power. He's a free agent.
Oh yeah. That's I don't know all the free agents. I don't follow everything, but.
And he has postseason experience. He would be. I think he'd be like $100 million contract, but definitely nowhere near someone like JD Martinez or Stanton.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's just some final things. Some trade proposals we wanted to get to. Just some little things. Legend.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Definitely gonna be keeping up with the winter meetings. See how that works out. But
probably our next podcast because it is in a couple weeks.
When is it exact?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely pay attention to that. And I mean, 2018 is going to be an interesting year to see how we play our cards with trades and how we see how it works out. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
This podcast. But yeah, be sure that if you guys share your thoughts down below, let us know what you think about the trade deals, and we'll see you then.